What is up, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we've got something a little different for you. Something a little different. So you might be asking yourself, well, how did you come across this car and why you have it? It's not a Foxbody. You've already got a Cobra. Well, where my wife works, they buy and sell cars, so they pick this car up at the auction. Now it's on me to get this thing cleaned up. So first off, let's have a look at it. We've got a lot of new parts for it. We've got a lot of replacement parts for it. It's a really straight 99 Mustang Cobra. It still has the IRS under it. Super clean car. The interior of the car, it's not been stripped out or anything like that. You know, it wasn't bought this way. The car, whenever they got it, would not start, so there was something up with the security system, so they had to go have 2 keys cut for it. Got new headlights over here in the box for it. Got all the pieces and parts back here to put on the car, so this thing's gonna be fun, guys. And once I'm done with it, this car will also be for sale. So as you guys know, the 99 and 01 Cobras are starting to go up in value. This car was bought to obviously make a profit off of. They're not into the whole Mustang thing necessarily, but since it was a Mustang, I was like, well, hey, you know what, I'll just work on it on the channel. I'm sure the guys would like to see it. So when this car is done, if you like the price on it, it'll be available for purchase. More than likely it'll probably just be sold locally, but I will give you guys an update on it when it's available for sale. But check this out. These things actually survived all these years. Nobody ever took them off. Nobody ever tinted them. I mean, that's just hard to believe. So you guys know what those things are worth right there. I'm just gonna do little things like, you know, restore this, go over the whole car with the buffer real good and see what we've got. You know, it's not a perfect car per se, but it is a really, really clean car. They put new tires on it all the way around, some Matomos. This thing actually only has 95,000 miles on it. So that's pretty cool. And these are documented miles. Like I said, we pulled a Carfax on it, so that's pretty incredible. Let's go ahead and look under the hood. Once again, we get to do an engine detail on this. I'm excited about it. This is what we've got right now to work on. This shouldn't take too long. Most of this could be knocked out in a couple days. And speaking of which, I'm about to get on this and start busting my butt. You won't get to see everything just because, I mean, I'm gonna be working on this thing all weekend long. I already kind of want to keep this car because this would be a great daily driver. This thing's gonna be clean. I already know it. Check out what I found in the back of the car, all like rolled up and like stuffed up under the seat. The original floor mats. And yes, they still have the logos on them, but look at this. Look how bad that is. That is crazy. I think they can be saved at least enough to reuse, so that's what we're gonna try to do. What I've done right now is sprayed them down with just some purple power. I'm gonna let them sit for a little while. I'm gonna come back and hit them with the pressure washer and see if we can get these things clean again. This is what we'll be using, my little foam cannon pressure washer. This will work perfect for these floor mats. It's not a high PSI pressure washer or anything, but you don't really need that. We found the Cobra emblem. That is great news. That means these floor mats will absolutely be able to be saved. I did not expect that, guys. Look at this. This one actually come out too. So this is great. So this car will have the original floor mats to go with it. I love when stuff like this just works out. That's crazy. A little bit of purple power, a small pressure washer, and you can clean your floor mats.
It's the first of the month, and now we smoking, joking, rolling, buzzing, sipping on 40 ounces again. Come, we got to the front. Stay buzzing all night.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead, finish cleaning these floor mats, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. So here are the floor mats clean. Well, as clean as I can get them anyway, but I think they'll do just fine inside the car. You know, it's a little darker down on the floorboard. You'll probably never notice. All right, so here are our parts, and let's pick what we want to do next. We can't do the door panel right now because I will show you. Can't do the door panel because this piece is missing right here. So got to get this piece and then we'll be able to put the door panel on. But for right now, I can go ahead and get some of this put on. You know, it's amazing to me just how quick these cars actually clean up once you just start putting everything back. And you know, it doesn't take much. This thing's gonna look like new money before too long. All right, real quick before we go, I'm gonna go ahead and detail this engine bay on this car. Well, I say detail it, we're gonna clean it. How about that? Okay, so just like before, we're just gonna run a brush over everything just to kind of knock the loose stuff off the top. If it's really, really grimy, this will help. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. The engine bay is clean. All we have to do now is let everything dry up, come back with our WD-40, spray everything down, and we are good to go. Now, one thing I want to mention, on these 4.6s, you have to really be careful with these pulleys, especially on the 0304 Cobras. You do not want to wash the grease away from these bearings that are in these pulleys, because they will squeak forever. And also, they could come apart on you. They get too hot and they actually come apart. So make sure that you don't hit the inside of these bearings on these pulleys with the pressure washer. Anyway, guys, that's it. We're gonna let this thing dry up and we will spray the WD-40 on it in the next video, check everything out and see how it's going. We are back. Once again, we're gonna work on the Cobra today. As you can see, I have sprayed everything down with WD-40. Looks a lot better. It's still not perfect. It needs a final cleaning, but for right now, this works pretty good. This is just motivation to keep going with the car. These are some of the issues with the car here. The mirror's broken. Obviously, the paint is just faded really, really badly. That's no problem. I'm gonna just run the buffer over it. We're not gonna make a big deal out of it because you could spend weeks polishing this car out. So the cowl is broken, obviously, so we had to fix that. I've already put a new mirror on over here. Door panel is back on. I just have to finish putting everything back together. Got to get a new vent here. We have to buy a new armrest pad because this is just, you know, trash. The interior looks really good on the car for the most part. The carpet's dirty, but it can be cleaned up. So we're just gonna run the shampoo over that. Hopefully that'll come back to life. Everything in the back looks pretty good. It is dirty though, like I said. The console is very dirty. So we will clean all of that up. It does have a Steeda Tri-X shifter in the car. I figure I'll go ahead and let you guys at least hear the car. Runs really good. Really tight car. I could see myself daily driving something like this. You know, it's stock. All it's got is exhaust on it. Nice little car. Love it. I have to put this new piece in, which I have right here. So I have to put that in. There's really nothing major that needs to be done to this car, which is why I have it at my house. Like I said, I'm just going to run through this thing, clean it all up real good, and it'll make a huge difference. Because right now, if you look at it from a distance, it looks pretty good, but like I said, the paint needs some work. The wheels are just filthy nasty, all in behind there. So I'm going to clean all that up. We're going to put new headlights in the car, polish on this bumper up here. Now all this will not come out, I'm fully aware, but we are going to sand a little bit and try to bring this out as good as possible anyway. Tell you what, why don't we run the buffer over a spot and let's see how the car is going to look. All right guys, I'm just going to show you real quick what the difference is going to be on this car once we get everything buffed out. It's going to make a huge difference. So just real quick, like, just to give you a taste. So that's it guys, that's the difference. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I absolutely can see it. Huge difference. All right, so that's all we're gonna do to it. We're just gonna go over it lightly like that. We're not going to wet sand and buff the car. There's no need. We just wanna make this thing pop again. So probably here in the next couple days, I'll go ahead and get started on this. I'll be using a big buffer on it. Just gonna knock this thing out, then detail the interior. Like I said, not a lot to do on the car. So next time you see it, some of this work will probably already have been done. Here is the Cobra. So far, I have polished out the fender on it and the door. Now I'm not completely done yet. but it is looking really, really good. Looks a lot better than it did. And I'll go ahead and show you guys what it looked like before. So this was the paint before. So as you can see, it's just really oxidized and faded. And this paint isn't going to be perfect on this car. That's not to be expected. All I'm doing is running the buffer over it, really just kind of getting some of the surface crap off of it, the oxidation off. So I clean my wheels with the Patterson car care stuff. It works really, really good. Gets in and gets all that old, you know, brake dust out that's locked in there inside of the paint on those wheels. Got all that out. Put new headlights in the car. Those look really good, by the way. Buffed on the hood a little bit, but here again, here's the other side of the car. Haven't touched this yet, and this doesn't even look that bad, but trust me, the paint is pretty jacked up on this car as far as faded anyway. So as you can see, it's cleaning up really good. So cleaned up all this. I still have to pull these out over here, but I've cleaned everything up and it just looks so much better. We now have the vents in here, so yeah, it's coming along, guys. Have the floor mats cleaned up. They're looking pretty good. You get them in a dark floorboard and they're gonna look pretty good. Just the fact that these logos come back out is just crazy. So that's really good. That's a plus. Cowling, like I told you before, is busted up on the car. So as you can see, it's all busted up over there. So I'll show you the cowling that we have as a replacement cowling, and all I did was just go in and spray some trim black over it. So there that is. You can see it just looks so much better. Now this video is just going to kind of be a mashup of different stuff because I've been working on this car now for about 3 days off and on. So you're going to see a bunch of different clips. Some's going to be from the phone, some's going to be from the GoPro, but hey, you know what? It is what it is, right? I know you guys don't care. Over here we have the new speakers that I ordered. I told you guys I was going to order some new speakers, and here they are. Let me tell you what. I cannot believe how good these speakers sounded. I'll show you guys what was in there before. It was just some Polk audio. Basically, they're like little subs. I mean, that's basically what they are. They do not sound good with highs coming through, so and they just distorted and they sounded like crap. At some point, they might have been a good speaker, but they're probably old as shit, so they're not anymore. But I do have the new speaker, well, one new speaker in the car so far, and I'll probably go ahead and just play it for you guys because I'm running out of time today. So I can go ahead and show you this, and then what we'll do is a final update later on the car with both speakers in. I'll go ahead and play you guys something and see how it sounds.
Daylight, whoa, daylight, daylight is coming again. Chopping a lago, pistol next to the ashtray, no bow and arrow, got black platter.
Well, all right, guys, that is going to wrap up this little update. I'm going to go ahead and put the other speaker in, button this thing up. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll have this car cleaned up, and I'll show you guys the final product. We'll talk about how much the car is for sale for and where you can purchase it. And as always, thanks for watching.